What's going on, my people? Chef Melky here again, once again. So today I am making lasagna. Haven't made it in a while. I've been kind of seeing a lot of my friends back home actually making lasagna, selling lasagna. Good job, my people, Smurfs. So yeah, I'm gonna make lasagna. I'm gonna start with making my tomato sauce. I make a very simple tomato sauce. It's literally 7 ingredients, including the spices, I want to say. Tomatoes, onions, garlic. My adobo, which I told you what it is granulated garlic, granulated onions, salt, pepper, a little cumin, and Dominican oregano. That's it. I make my tomato sauce very simple. I only add a little bit of sugar because if you know why people usually add sugar to tomato sauce, it's because the sugar helps break down the acidity, helps with the heartburn. So let's get to it. So I just got some garlic over here, as you can see, and I'm just gonna rough chop it because it's gonna cook slow into the tomato sauce. Also, it's gonna release the flavors, so it doesn't have to be. You want them pretty much uniform, like I've told you before, because you do want everything to cook together. But it is not for presentation. You're not gonna see it. We're gonna burr it up later. By burr it up, I mean we're gonna use a hand blender and puree it nice. And onion, we all know how to do the onion. You cut the top, cut the bottom, cut it in half, take the peel out, the skin. And I'll give you guys a trick. If you're ever cutting onions and you tear up, I've seen a lot of suggestions. Put bread in your mouth, chew gum, wear glasses. Hey, I wear glasses. It doesn't always work. The best thing that you can do so that you don't tear when you do your onions, keep them cold. Keep your onions in the fridge. If you keep your onions in the fridge, when you cut them, there won't be too much of a problem. And for the onions also, pretty much I'm just gonna rough chop them. Like I said, we still do want some sort of uniformity, but like I said, we're gonna blend it later, so it's not for presentation. So I already have the pan on the stove getting nice and warm, getting hot. So we're gonna start to saute the onions and the garlic. Well, how about I meet y'all over there? Let's get over to the stove. All right, so now we're at the stove. Pan is getting nice and hot. Gonna add a little oil, olive oil. Making tomato sauce. Typically, you think of Italian, so we're gonna try to go with their theme. But like I said, mine is very simple. I don't make per se a marinara, where a marinara would have carrots and basil. I use oregano. I use Dominican oregano. If you've never used Dominican oregano, everybody talks about Mexican oregano and Italian oregano, and no disrespect to either, because I personally have used them both a lot in my career. But if you've never had Dominican oregano, I don't know what to tell you. Get yourself a Dominican friend. Get yourself somebody that lives in New York that might be able to mail you some oregano, because Dominican oregano is to a whole other situation. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to sweat the onions and the garlic. So pretty much when you see the onions going translucent, which if I haven't told you that translucent is when the onions start to go clear. And then at that point, we're going to add the tomatoes. So, let's go nice and slow. You don't want the flame too hot. Or unfortunately, me here in Florida with electric stoves, but you don't want the heat too high, medium heat. And just let them sweat slowly. This sauce does take a little time. I like to cook my sauce for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, just because, like I said, I don't like to add too much sugar. I don't like my tomato sauce sweet. So the cooking, I just literally cook the acid out. So we're gonna, like I said, let this sweat, and then we'll add the tomatoes. So let's wait for. All right. So now when we see the onions and the garlic starting to turn a little brown like this, perfect time to put in the tomatoes, because now all that, see, that's called caramelization. The sugars that are in the garlic and in the onion start browning and start coming out, and now the flavor that adds to the sauce is going to be amazing. So have about, I'll say, 8 cups of crushed tomatoes. I actually have a little bit of both. I have crushed tomatoes and diced tomatoes. I like using both because the crushed tomatoes are already broken down. But I like the diced tomatoes so that when they cook, they break down and give you nice tomato flavor. And now I'm just going to season it. And one thing we got to remember, whenever you season, especially something like anything that you're going to cook for a long time, a stew or sauce, anything like that, definitely season it from jump. But remember, you can always add more seasoning. You can never take away. So we all remember my adobo, my little adobo mix that I made that I just told y'all. Again, season it with a little bit of that. When it comes, I can't tell you how much I'm going to season it. I pretty much go by feel. Once I see it starts covering the top, I leave it at that. Then I'm going to add a little granulated onion. Granulated garlic. I love garlic in my tomato sauce. Not much of a sweet person. Not much of a sweet tomato sauce kind of guy, but I love little black pepper. Some salt. And what makes my tomato sauce is this right here. This is Dominican oregano. It is the aroma that comes off of this. It is amazing. Yeah, there's be some little twigs in this sometimes. You got to take them out. We're going to burn this up. It's going to be fine. But the flavor of the Dominican oregano, like I said, no disrespect to my Mexicans and my Italians, they're great, but Dominican oregano is something else. I add a little bit of red pepper flake, just a touch, just enough to let you know that it's there. Nothing crazy. And like I said, I only add a little bit of sugar. That I will tell you, I add about a tablespoon of sugar. That's about it. Now there, we're going to let the sauce come up, which means for it to, when you start seeing the little bubbles, when it starts to boil. Remember, tomato sauce can be a little messy. So I suggest you get yourselves a screen. I will show you my screen in a minute. But, bring it up to a boil, then bring it down to a low simmer. And I leave it on the side and I cook it nice and slow for about an hour and a half. And let it rock from there. All right, we'll be back to while we do this. We're going to start prepping the meat for the lasagna, and we'll get back to that. All right, my people. So now that we see the sauce is boiling, give it a nice stir. Make sure all the flavors get blended in there together. And now we're just literally going to put down the heat to about a little on the medium. And this is what I was talking about right here. Get yourself a screen like this. This is great for when you're making sauces. And look, this one I like because it gets out of the way. Stops the splatter. So now what we're going to do while we're waiting for the sauce is we're not just going to sit around. We're going to prep the meat. That's the ground turkey. So tell y'all about that in a minute. All right, so usually I make my lasagna with ground beef and Italian sausage. But like I said, I'm trying to be a little healthier, trying to see if I do something about this weight. So I'm actually going to make it with ground turkey breast and sweet Italian turkey sausage. So, mix it up a little. So for the meat, have the pan getting warm. So it's getting nice and hot. I'm going to chop up some garlic. This we're actually going to want a little more uniform than what we did for the sauce, because this isn't actually going to get burnt up later. This is going to be in the meat. So you kind of want everything nice and small. I actually love sliced tomatoes, not tomatoes, garlic like this for pasta, for sauces. But we're just going to chop it down. Get it nice and small, because like I said, it's gonna go in the meat and it's gonna get cooked off. But you know, you don't want, I love garlic, don't get me wrong, but you don't want a big chunk of garlic when you're eating, especially raw garlic. I mean, this is not gonna be raw, but you know, we'll make some recipes together. We'll make some bruschetta soon. Now that the summer's here, it's getting nice and hot. A good bruschetta is really nice. So something like that that'll have raw garlic in it, you definitely might get your garlic press, or just really fine chopping. You know, get your knife skills down. Don't be scared. You see how I'm holding the knife. You see how all my fingers are pointed up. I'm holding it and everything else is up. I'm keeping myself safe. I'm making sure that I don't cut my tip off. Don't get me wrong. I've been doing this for a while now. But I remember when I started in culinary school, I didn't have no calluses in my hands. You know, before this, I worked an office job. Worked for the New York Public Library for a long time. And so I didn't have no calluses in my hands. So I used to get, you know, when I started using the knife every day, it kind of bothered me. It hurt. Now I have nice, strong callus there to deal with the blade. But as you can see, we got the garlic nice and chopped. And now for the onion. Once again, cut the top, cut the bottom, just the tip so it stays together. Cut it in half. Take the outer skin out. And for this, I'm going to do like a medium dice. I like to see the onion, actually. I don't want it to disappear. Also, another wonderful thing, I love onions. Onions go in so many dishes if you pay attention. Whether it's a mainstay, I mean, think about it. In French cuisine, you know, the mirepoix, which is used in just about everything, it's the Holy Trinity is 50% onion, 25% carrot, 25% celery. So I don't think I know a cuisine on earth that doesn't use onions. One of the most versatile things on planet Earth. They come in so many different varieties. You can eat them raw, you can eat them stewed, you can eat them fried, you can eat them breaded, you can eat them any which way. Onions are wonderful. So now that we have the onion all nice and cut up, we're gonna go over to the pan, start sauteing this, and get ready to put the meat in. All right, let's meet over there. All right, so now we're at the saute pan. Little oil. Then we're just gonna throw the onions in. Start with the onion. Don't you love that sound? That's like that sound that's telling you, listen, listen. Greatness is about to happen. Saute those onions up, get them nice and tender. We're gonna start with the onions first, and then we're gonna add the garlic, because the garlic we don't want the garlic to burn. One of the worst flavors you can have is burnt garlic. It just destroys a dish, and you can tell when it's burnt garlic. So we're gonna get those sauteed nice and translucent. Nice and slow. We don't need to rush it. Remember, everything that you do. The only thing about restaurants, you'll go to a restaurant and you might get a meal right away, quick. But the time that it took to... Alright, so now that we see the onions nice and light like this, you see they're getting translucent. You see how they're starting to get a little clear. So now we're going to add the garlic. Spread that around. Oh, the smells. Garlic and onion. Wow. So simple. So simple. So, now that we have that in, now we're going to introduce the meat. Going to put the meat right in there. Don't need that paper. Break the meat down. And season it. Very simple. Once again, my adobo. Yeah, I know it. My adobo. A little black pepper. A little salt. A little Dominican oregano. I know it's the same ingredients in the sauce, but shit, when they come together, these are simple ingredients that bring out natural flavors. They help enhance. Like, remember, salt is not a seasoning. Salt brings out the natural flavors in the food. Now, if you use too much, it gets salty. But use it sparingly. And remember, we're going to taste everything as we go. Of course, this we're going to let it cook. And if we need to add some more flavors, we can. But remember, you can't take salt away. You can't make something salty and then make it unsalty. You can't make something spicy and make it unspicy. There are some steps that you can help. If you're making a soup or a stock or something like that, you can add potato to help soak up some of the salt. But if you don't do that in the first place, and then you just have to add salt while you're cooking, and then you have to add a little at the end to finish it off, that's great. Okay, so we're going to cook this meat off. We're going to get it nice and brown, and then we're going to cook the Italian sausage. But while this is cooking, we're going to actually take the Italian sausage out of the casing so it could be ground also. All right, let's do that next. All right, so now we're going to take, these are Italian sausages, but they're turkey Italian sausages because we're trying to be light. So we're going to take them out of the casing. We're going to slice them down because we're going to make it ground sausage. Because when we make the lasagna, we put the lasagna together, it's going to be easy to spread all the meat all the way around so you can get a little bit of ground sausage, ground turkey together. Make, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a wonderful balance of flavors. And my lasagna's, my cousin from back home in Dominican Republic, Gotti, what's up? Congratulations on the wedding, mama. When I went to DR, I was like, what do you want me to cook? Whatever you want me to cook. And she absolutely, the first thing she said, oh, you got to make me the lasagna. I had made it to her when she had come visit from school in New York, and that was the first thing she made. So this is a little different. The only difference is that I'm making it with turkey instead of pork and beef because, like I said, we're trying to be a little healthier, So the ground turkey, we're going to break it up. We're just going to mash it up. And once we put it in the pot, we're going to also, mash it down with a masher to make sure that it's nice and separated. And we'll be able to put it on the lasagna. All right, so let's go check on the turkey. Let's go see how that's doing. Let me wash my hands and we'll get to that. All right, so we can see the meat, the ground turkey, cooking nice and slow here, beautifully. And I'm going to do something to this that I usually don't. Well, I don't do it to the pork. But I'm going to we're going to deglaze this with a little white wine. If you don't have white wine at home, don't overthink it. It's just, it's kind of one of those things that the culinary training comes in and, white wine reduction is just a wonderful thing to add to just about any dish. It brings out so much flavor. So, while you see how we're going to get the turkey it's almost done, so we're going to move it around, and then we're going to go get the white wine, and we're going to add a little, not too much, just a little bit to bring all the flavors together. We're going to taste it to make sure that if we need to add any more flavor, any more sazon, any more adobo. Sazon is not just what you buy at the store, people. For us, Latino sazon, it means flavor. Sazon, the seasoning. That's what it is. All right, so we're looking at that. That's looking great. Let's go get that white wine. All right, so let's taste a little bit of this right here. See how we're doing. Taste the onion, taste the garlic, taste the oregano. Everything comes through very nice. So now, here I have a little Pinot Grigio, a little white wine. I'm trying to not show the label, but that's it. That's about what? Maybe about half a cup. And we're just going to let that reduce. That's actually going to bring the flame up a little bit to help that reduce in there. And usually I would finish it with a little butter. But like I said, we're trying to be healthy out in these ways. So I'm going to finish it with a little roasted garlic olive oil. And yeah. So we're gonna let this reduce. As you can see, while that's right there, we have a wonderful tomato sauce working here. You know, a good stir here and there will never hurt. And also, you know, keep it from sticking to the bottom. I'm telling you, smell-o-vision. You know, technology dudes, smell-o-vision, because I can tell you how good it smells. If you're making it, you know how good it smells. And if you're not, you need to make it so you can know how good it smells. Like I said, just simple ingredients done right, and you can't go wrong. Don't let the ingredients speak for themselves. Don't mess them up. All right, let's get to that next step. All right, so as we can see, the white wine has been absorbed or has reduced. See, there's only a little bit left. So I was gonna actually add a roasted garlic oil infusion oil that I have, but I tasted this and it doesn't need it, so I'm not gonna add any more fat to it. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take this off the stove, we're gonna rinse off the pan, and we're gonna do the sausages. All right, so let's do that. All right, so now we have the pan nice and hot. I'm gonna start it nice and hot. A little bit of oil just because it's turkey sausage, so it doesn't have as much fat as pork sausage. And to this, we don't have to season. Remember, it's Italian, sweet Italian sausage, so it already has a seasoning, you know, sweet fennel and everything they put in those wonderful Italian sausages. Smells great. So we're just gonna mash it down, and we're gonna cook it all the way through. And we're gonna make it look texture-wise just like the ground turkey, so that we can spread it into the lasagna and everything gets a nice bite of both. But it's gonna be so good. Like I said, smell-o-vision needs to come. This smells amazing. All right, so we're gonna cook this through. Wait till the lasagna, till the sauce is done. And I'm gonna show y'all a trick. I'm actually gonna use ready-baked lasagna noodles. So we're not even gonna have to boil them. I've used them before. They work great. Just one step simpler. I'd rather use fresh pasta noodles, but unfortunately at the moment I don't have a pasta machine, so we're gonna use that. So for now, let's get this sausage cooked, and then we're gonna start to build. Well, we still have a little time on the sauce, but the next step you guys will see is the build. Well, we'll be back. All right, now that the sausage is all the way cooked through, now this is at the point where we're gonna pretty much wait. We're gonna take this off the frame. We're gonna put it aside. So now we have the ground sausage, ground turkey, and we're just waiting for the sauce to be done. It'll be about an hour, 45 minutes, and then we're gonna build the fun part. All right, guys, get back to it. All right, guys, so now the sauce is almost done. So we're gonna burr it out with our trusty hand mixer here, and we're just gonna puree it. I love these machines. See, I can puree this right in the pot. You don't have to take it out and put it in the blender. And that's pretty much it. We're just gonna puree it. And that's it. And now we're gonna let it cook like another 10-15 minutes, and then we're gonna build. We're gonna put the lasagna together. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna use the no-bake noodles. I've used them before, like I said. Very simple. Put them together, put the lasagna together, bake it, and enjoy. All right, so that's it. That's all we're gonna do to the sauce. That's it. At this point, the sauce is done. We're gonna give it another 10 minutes. But seasoning has been tasted, it tastes great. And then we're just gonna build the lasagna. All right, we're almost done, guys. Get ready to eat. All right, my people, so now we're gonna build the lasagna. So I did cut down on the calories when it came down to the meat, from the ground beef to ground turkey and ground Italian sausage to the turkey Italian sausage. But I do like my lasagnas cheesy. So I have Gruyere. What is it? I have Gruyere. I have an Italian blend that has low skim on mozzarella, provolone, Asiago, Parmesan. Then I have Parmesan, and then I have fresh mozzarella. So this is going to be a nice cheesy lasagna. So I have my bowl here, my baking dish here. I am going to spray it with a little nonstick spray so that, you know, it comes right out. Better safe than sorry. And like I said, I am using no bake noodles, as you can see. So what we're gonna do is, the trick with this is you just gotta make sure you have enough sauce. Now I have ricotta cheese. Most people don't like ricotta cheese. I'm not a great fan, but the main thing is that really ricotta cheese doesn't really taste like much. So what I do, and it's kind of gives you that when you're eating it. So I simple, add a little tomato sauce to it. It'll do two things. One, add flavor, and two, it'll make it a lot pliable, so that when you're using it, you can spread it easier and you don't get that, you know, that just plain ricotta, I don't know, like texture, like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I know if you have ricotta and you just get that big glob of ricotta in your food, it's just not, you know, and I just add enough to make it a little pliable, as you can see. And now we're gonna start building the lasagna. So we go with a little sauce on the bottom, because like I said, when you use the no cook noodles, they're pretty much like dried fresh pasta. So since I didn't make the pasta today, I'm gonna use the no cook noodles, and it's simple. See, get a nice layer of sauce on the bottom, and then we're just gonna layer the noodles right on top. You know what? Sometimes you gotta play with them, figure out the pan you're using. First time I'm actually using this pan for lasagna. So, you know, move it around the way you feel comfortable. There you go. I think this fits better. So you have sauce on the bottom. We're gonna put a little sauce on top of the noodles also. So that's what's gonna help cook the noodles, the moisture in the sauce. And think about it. So now you're cooking it in the sauce. So how much better is it gonna taste than just noodles and water? Trust me, try that. So now I like to start with a little bit of cheese on the bottom. Helps hold everything together. Like I said, I have a bunch of different cheeses, and I'm just gonna go intertwining between all of them. They all melt very nice, and the flavors, like the Gruyere. I love Gruyere cheese. It's a, how can I put it? It's a high-end Swiss cheese. Has a little more bite, and it's great. So I put a nice little layer. There goes the oven's ready. Got it at 420. I just like that number. But see, with this, and you can do this without, when you add the sauce, it makes it a lot more pliable. So now we're just gonna layer the meat, and we're gonna start off with the ground turkey. Remember, this is flavored with onions, garlic, Dominican oregano, salt, pepper, then some reduced white wine. I like using my hands, people. Just wash them. That's all you gotta do, wash your hands. If something, I don't understand how Corona was such an issue when all you have to do was wash your hands. But we're here now. So we spread everything around. I'm gonna put a little more sauce. Look at this. This is just, oh man, this is gonna be so good. And now we're gonna do the sliced mozzarella, fresh mozzarella, and we're just gonna spread it all around. It's gonna be so nice and cheesy. It is gonna be insane. See that? Now we're gonna put some more noodles on top. Now we're gonna go 3 here. Want it to hold up nice when we take it out of the pan. Now, you know what? Let's do a little ricotta on the bottom. Easier to spread like this. And remember, the ricotta is wet also, so it's gonna help also help the noodles cook. And then we're gonna hit it with some more sauce on top. Oh man, this is just gonna be amazing. Nice, cheesy, meaty. And the flavors are just gonna be so awesome. So, now we're gonna add some more tomato sauce on top of that. I'm telling you, just cooking is one of those things that just brings me joy. That's why I chose it as a career. There's nothing like making somebody smile when they take that first bite and they smile and their eyes roll to the back of their head. That's when you know you did a good job. Somebody's just, you know, that food gadget face. Nothing like it. So we're just gonna repeat what we did the first time. Sauce, cheese, more cheese. Oh yeah, and guess what? A little more cheese. And now we're gonna go with the meat. The ground sausage. I want you guys to try these. Another thing I want to start doing is I want to cook what you guys want to try to make. If you've cooked something or you want to try something that you've never done, let me know. We'll look up a recipe together. We'll make it together. Put it right on here so that you can see what we're doing and that others can see what we're doing. So you see, nice meat all over. Now we're gonna hit it. Remember, like I said, I like using my hands, so all you gotta do is wash your hands, my people. Wash your hands. Now, some more cheese. Put a little Parmesan in there too. I like topping it with Parmesan, but you know Parmesan is so good in the middle also. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit it with a little more sauce. Because then we're gonna put the noodles, more sauce, and more cheese. Told you it's cheesy. Well, we still got, I wanna put some more mozzarella, just putting the sauce down so that it stays in place. So here goes the mozzarella. We're gonna put it all the way straight down. I'm telling you, like, these smells are driving me crazy because I just want to take a bite. I mean, everything is cooked except for the noodles. The noodles will be cooked in a minute. So there we go. See? Now we have that. I'm gonna add a little more sauce here. And now we're gonna finish it off with the noodles. Look, exactly one box. So now hit it with the rest of this ricotta with the sauce. Makes it pliable, makes it taste good. All the way to the edges. Now the tomato sauce. And we're almost ready to go into the oven, my people. Just about. What we gotta do is cheese it. And we gone. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, Lord, this looks amazing. So, now, last layer of cheese. Only cheese we're not going to put on top is the fresh mozzarella. We want it in the middle. This is the Italian blend. Actually, no, sorry. This is the Gruyere. All these cheeses melt well. And also, the flavors. The different flavors of the different cheeses work. And they work so well together. The nuttiness of the Parmesan. The bite of the Gruyere, the smoothness of the mozzarella, and the provolone. It is just, oh man. Very nice. Very nice. And then we're going to top it off with some nice Parmesan. Woo. This, I like to just press down lightly. And now we're just going to go into the oven. Like I said, I have it at 420 degrees. I'm going to put it on another tray just because it's going to bubble. We have so much cheese in here. It's gonna probably bubble a little. So, you know, we don't want to have to prevent yourself from doing extra work. If you put it on top of this, it's gonna bubble onto this. So all you gotta do is clean this. You don't have to clean the whole oven. So now we're going in the oven. 45 minutes. Get that nice golden brown. You can already see the layers here, but wait till it all melts together. Oh Lord. All right. So let's put this in the oven. And get ready to enjoy a wonderful lasagna dinner. Good. All right, so now we're taking the lasagna out of the oven. Nice and brown, nice and crispy. You see all the layers. Now, you really want to rip into it right now, but don't do it. Let it rest about 10 to 15 minutes because if not, it's going to destroy your mouth. So we're going to let it rest, then we're going to cut, then we're going to eat. All right, folks, so we're here. Now it's time to cut and eat. Ooh. I can't wait. I can't wait. I know you can't either. I'm going to take the piece in the middle, you know, for presentation. Straight down. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, Lord, look at that. Look at that. My people, my lasagna. I hope you enjoy. My people, the lasagna is amazing. Look at this. Enjoy. See you soon. Have a good one.